Welcome to TrulyFit.
Welcome to the TrulyFit Podcast, where we interview experts in fitness and health to expand our wisdom and wealth. I'm your host, Steve Washuta, co-founder of TrulyFit and author of Fitness Business 101. On Thursdays, as a reminder, it is just me. I am speaking about something that is either trending in the health or fitness or business industries, a topic that maybe I touched on previously with a guest that I want to expand on, something that a question that was written into me specifically by a listener, or sometimes something that I just feel like I need to get this off my chest. On Thursdays, these are short episodes, typically 5 to 15 minutes. On Mondays, that's where I do my longer interview episodes where I try to provide value for my audience. Wisdom, wealth, fitness, health, those are the categories we touch. I know that sounds maybe a little bit general and vague, but we touch all of those areas: fitness, health, wisdom, wealth. Today, I'm going to be talking about why you should hire professionals. So if you are a professional of any sort, I'm going to give you the pitch to tell prospective clients. If you're somebody who doesn't hire professionals and needs to, I am going to try to convince you why you should hire a professional. And we all have expertises in different areas. A lot of us now can get information online very easily. So we assume that we can do things on our own. Maybe we have an area of expertise that is very intricate and we are smarter than the average person. And we assume that, oh, well, if I am a doctor of whatever, I can certainly teach myself how to do this sort of exercise. Oh, if I am very proficient as an accountant, I can certainly teach myself how to eat properly with the right macronutrients and calories. I can do a little bit of research, and it's just me have an Excel sheet and recording everything properly. It's so much more than that. And there's a few reasons why. And there's sort of 3 reasons. I'm going to break it down to 2 reasons. And then I have a sort of a third factor that ties into both of these. We can call it maybe like a reverse pyramid. Adherence is why plans work, right? You have to stick to that plan, but you need a proper plan, and you get a proper plan by having an expert who designs that plan for you. You have expert guidance. Expert guidance and accountability lead to adherence. So if you have both of those 2 things, expert guidance and accountability, it will lead to you adhering to that plan and being successful. You hear a lot of people who go on a particular diet and then they will tell everyone else how amazing this diet is and how they have to try it. So they'll go on the keto diet, they will lose 20 pounds over the course of a month, and they tell all their friends how the keto diet was so great. What they're not understanding is typically it's not the diet itself, the food choices, let's say, in that particular instance, as opposed to if you take more of a zoom out macro perspective, they were in a caloric deficit and they adhered to that caloric deficit over a long period of time, which helped them lose weight. If they would have done that in a different format, eating different food choices, they would have probably also gotten to that same goal because they were in a caloric deficit for a long period of time, which allowed them to lose the weight. So adherence is very important. But ultimately, we do need expert guidance and accountability to help us adhere and stick to that plan. And the reason why that's so important also is when you're initially building a plan, you want to make sure that that plan is optimized for you individually. Of course, I always talk about analogies. I'm going to give a quick golf analogy here. You can go to the store right now. You could buy off-the-rack golf clubs, which we call standard LLL, length, lie, and loft. Now, if you're somewhere between 5'8" and 6 foot and have average arm length, could likely work for you in a static fitting, but there's also the dynamic portion. It's not just the metrics of how tall you are and how long your arms are. It's how your body moves in space with that swing. If you go to a professional, they set you up in a booth. They're looking at all of these different metrics and numbers. They're putting stickers on your clubs to see where you're hitting. They can say, hey, listen, I know you're right at that 6 foot mark and you have the static measurement of being able to use standard clubs and LLL, length, lie, and loft, but we believe by the swing path of your club that you should actually have a club, because you're standing up a little bit taller than the average golfer was. You're not going to bend your knees as much, a half an inch longer. And we also need you 1 inch, we need you 1 degree upright in your clubs. We can tell by where that ball is hitting on the club. Okay, well, now I'm better suited to start my golf journey and becoming a better golfer because I got the clubs that were specifically fitted to me and my body. That's the difference between you going on YouTube and doing some various workout and you actually meeting with a certified personal trainer who knows what they're doing, who has a good reputation, who maybe a friend has used before, or you discuss with them in advance, you have a consultation with them to see if it's a good fit, because just having a certification doesn't mean that you're going to be very knowledgeable about helping someone. You should do your own due diligence as the consumer. for each individual expert you're hiring. But if you believe that expert does know their stuff and they have good reviews and they have good word of mouth, then they're going to be able to build you a plan, most likely, that is particular to you so that you can expedite your journey, so that you're not held back by doing the standard exercises that you believe are perfect for you, which could inevitably be doing actually harm for you. That's the difference between the golf clubs, let's say, and hiring a golf instructor and getting a golf fitting than hiring a personal trainer is. You're not going to get injured swinging the standard loft and length club that maybe doesn't fit you properly. You're just going to suck at golf. You can hurt yourself, both short-term and long-term, by doing the wrong exercise types, by not understanding your body and what your body needs for your goals. Same thing with hiring a nutrition professional, registered dietitian, someone of that sort, right? Some of that ilk with high credentials in the nutrition area. You need to know what's best for your body and your goals and your timing. When are you waking up in the morning? When are you going to sleep at night? How stressed are you during the day? What is your dietary preferences? What are your allergies? What is your finances based around how much money you can actually spend on food? All of these things matter, and that's what a real nutrition professional is going to look at when they build you a plan. So again, to be successful in anything, whether I'm saving money or I'm trying to lose 20 pounds or I'm trying to put on 5 pounds of muscle and become more lean, I have to adhere to a particular plan. And that plan has to be specific to me. It has to be designed by an expert. And I need some accountability in that plan. And the other factor here with the sort of accountability and adherence, let's go maybe more to accountability, is there's going to be bumps on the road, whatever you're doing. If it's financial, maybe there's 2 bills that come up that you weren't expecting to pay. So you said, hey, my goal was to save whatever, $500 a month, and now I can't do that because these other 2 bills came in. I forgot that I had these bills to pay. There's no way I can do that. That's okay. Your financial advisor is going to say, don't worry about this. Our long-term plans supersede our short-term goals. We're going to adjust some of the short-term goals. We'll figure this out. We're still going to meet your long-term goals. We'll get there. We're just going to adjust some things. If you say, hey, listen, Steve, I only slept 3 hours last night. I know we were supposed to work out today. I just don't have the energy. No big deal. Don't worry about it. We have long-term goals. You can miss a workout for the day. Maybe you just go on a long walk to clear your mind, to become more lucid so you feel better and you don't actually have to work out. We'll figure it out. If for some reason you're just not hungry one day and you were supposed to eat at a particular time, you're talking to your registered dietitian or nutritionist, I'm sure they're going to say, don't worry about it. Sometimes you have to listen to your body. It's okay. We're not going to screw up our long-term goals here by you just making some short-term decisions, and we're going to adjust accordingly. And the accountability and the adherence to be able to bounce off those day-to-day issues or those week-to-week or month-to-month issues that you're going to have with the professional who can then sort of calm you down and come up with creative fixes for that is going to be great. Now, I give very simplistic bumps in the road. There's inevitably going to be more specific, difficult bumps in the road for you, both from a financial perspective, from a nutritional perspective, and in my wheelhouse, from a personal training perspective, right? You can come in and say, hey, listen, I don't know what's going on with my ankle. I got imaging. They said I certainly don't have any break. I likely might have just slightly sprained it at some point. I don't even remember, but my ankle is kind of hurting me. I don't really know what's going on. I'm not sure if I want to pay to get an MRI, Steve, but there's something going on with my ankle. Okay, well, we'll adjust accordingly. No big deal. I have a zillion other exercises that I can give you in order for us to reach our goal of whatever that particular goal is that you have. We can stay away from putting excess pressure in and around that ankle, and we'll make sure to rest. Even if we don't know exactly what's going on and we don't have a particular diagnosis, we're going to make sure to rest and work around that. Hey, Steve, I hate back squats. Okay, no big deal. I don't have a particular ideology around anything in fitness. I have principles, and I stick to those principles, and those principles will help me get to your goals. Those principles are long-term goals over short-term goals. Those principles are, listening first to the client and then developing a plan. Don't have a plan always in advance for the client, or at least be able to change that plan on a dime based upon my client's needs at any given time. Right? I have principles. I don't have an ideology. I'm not going to say you have to back squat. Okay, we'll front squat. We'll suitcase squat. We'll kettlebell sumo squat. We'll hold squats with more time under tension using body weight. There's a zillion other ways to get to work those muscles that you want to work. We'll hack squat, we'll leg press. We don't have to just back squat. So working with a professional, number one, keeps you accountable, which is more likely for you to adhere to that plan. And the adherence to the plan only matters if that plan is specific to you and is actually functional and it works. So hire a professional for whatever your needs are. Do your due diligence. It's maybe another whole podcast to do on who that professional is. Just because they have a certification or a name doesn't mean they're actually great at what they do. It's very easy to get these certifications nowadays. It's different when you're in maybe higher level education things, right? What my wife has to do, you go through medical school, then you go through residency, and then from residency, you go to a specialty, and that pyramid just keeps getting smaller and smaller, as opposed to a personal trainer. I can go online for 3 hours, study a little bit, and then take some sort of test and become a registered personal trainer, certified personal trainer. So do your due diligence on who your professional is, but hiring a professional is very important to get you to your goals. And if you're somebody who is a professional, you have to pitch this to your clients too. You have to say, hey, listen, the accountability matters. I'm ready to help you adjust because you're inevitably going to run into problems. If I write you out a plan, it is in a vacuum based upon you having no issues, having no struggles throughout your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month life, and that's impossible. It's never going to happen, right? We write you out that general plan to have a baseline, and then I'm ready to adjust accordingly on a dime when you call me or you talk to me or you email me and say, hey, Steve, this came up. What do I do? I have the secondary and tertiary plans already there, ready to go. This has been an episode of the TrulyFit Podcast. As a reminder, the Monday podcasts are me interviewing somebody in the health and fitness fields or somewhat co-related to those. And we talk about things that relate to health and fitness and wisdom and wealth. That is the tagline of the podcast. And I've really enjoyed doing these. It's 180-ish episodes in, and we're not stopping. Thursdays are the shorts with me. Mondays are the interviews. And if you guys have anyone in particular you'd like me to interview, or if you're interested in coming on the podcast, you could always shoot me a message, social@TrulyFitApp, or DM me on Instagram @Steve Washuta. Thanks for listening in, guys. Thanks for joining us on the TrulyFit Podcast. Please subscribe, rate, and review on your listening platform, and feel free to email us. We'd love to hear from you. social@TrulyFit.app. Thanks again.